It was Tuesday morning in Fort Worth, Texas. One of those hotel conference room that smells like bad coffee and carpet cleaner. It was a networking breakfast, and there was probably over 200 people. I had on my best shirt, a stack of business cards in my pocket, and I had my name tag, stuck to my chest. I must have worked that room for 2 hours. Every table, every handshake, real conversations, and I left with a stack of other people's business cards. I took those business cards, I put them in a drawer, and 3 months later, I pulled them out. I tried to remember who was who. I gave a few people a couple of cold calls and nothing. I did the same thing at the next event and the one after that. I did that for almost 2 years. I wasn't lazy. I wasn't bad at conversation. I wasn't broken. I was in the wrong rooms. Wrong room. Every week. One framework. Donnie Bovine. Hey, I'm Donnie Bovine, and this is The Wrong Room. Every week, I'm going to give you one framework that helps you stop networking wrong and start building the rooms that grow your business. Let's get into it. So, here's what I know. Every single week, there's talented people that are phenomenal at what they do. They're great in conversations. They show up to every event, every virtual coffee, every chamber meeting, and they still can't break a financial threshold. They're still watching a pipeline run dry every other month. They think they really need to network more. They don't. What they need to do is network differently. There's a massive difference between being busy and being in the right rooms. You can fill every hour of your week with a networking activity and still generate nothing. Not because you're doing it wrong as a person, it's because you're doing it in the wrong places with the wrong people, and nobody's going to tell you that. Because everyone in the networking industry, they really benefit from you believing that more networking is the answer. They're going to tell you more events, more followers, more connections on LinkedIn, more, more, more. It doesn't work. I know because I did it for years. And I know because I've watched hundreds of good people do the same exact thing and get the same results. So today, I want to give you a model that changes how you think about your entire network. It's called the C3 model. Three circles. And by the end of this, you'll know exactly what's been wrong with how you've been spending your networking time. The framework, the C3 model, it's three circles. So think of it like a bullseye. Uh, three out, circles into the target. The outermost circle, this is your crowd. These are the people that recognize your name, and that's it. They'll say things like, "Oh, yeah, I know Donnie," but they couldn't tell what you do. They couldn't tell who you serve. They just know your face and your name. That's just the crowd. That's the general public. Most of your LinkedIn connections are just part of the crowd. Most of the people you've met at events are just part of the crowd. You've got hundreds of them, probably, maybe thousands. And most of them will never send you a single opportunity dollar, let alone an introduction or referral. Then there's the middle circle. These are your connections. These are people that trust you. They'd take your call, right? They know what you do and who you do it for. If someone they knew had a problem you'd solve, they might bring your name up. They might mention you. They like you. They just don't think of you automatically. Connections, are just people you've built something with, not just met, right? These are people that know you and know what they do, but they may not bring your name up. And then you have the inner circle, the bullseye, champions. A champion is someone that's going to bring your name up in rooms that you're not in without being asked, without being prompted. They believe in what you do so much that when someone they know has your problem, your name comes out of their mouth automatically. Like, you don't manufacture champions, you don't shortcut champions, you can't fast track it. They come from really consistent, intentional relationships built over time. And there's a specific system for doing that I'll cover in a future episode. It's called PACT, just for references, PACT. Here's the problem. Most people networking right now are spending all their energy trying to grow their outer circle. More events, more followers, more connections, collecting contacts, and calling it networking. And then they wonder why nobody's sending them any sort of business. The crowd doesn't send you business, champions do. The question isn't how many people know your name, it's how many people are saying your name in rooms that you're not in right now. Think about that for a second. Right now, today, how many people would bring your name up unprompted? Is someone they knew needed what you do? For most people I talk to, even the ones who have been in business for 10 plus years, the honest answer is maybe 2. 5 if you've been really intentional. That's not enough to build a consistent pipeline. But here's the thing, it's enough to start. You don't need 50 champions. You need 10 to 15 committed champions, and your business changes completely. That's what this show is about. Every week, one framework, getting you out of the wrong rooms and into the right ones. Each week, I'm going to take a couple of questions that have been submitted through, me in DMs, through our private community, and the like. So, time for a little Q&A. Question number 1: how do you know if someone is a connection or a champion? And for me, it's simple. Have you ever gotten a referral from them without asking for it? If yes, they're a champion. If no, then they're just a connection at best. You see, champions don't wait to be asked. They do it. And that's really the test, right? What I find is champions are actually trying to win for you. They're out there proactively trying to help you grow your business. And in a lot of cases, champions, they're networking for you. They are finding opportunities to bring your name up. Question number 2: what if I don't have any champions yet? I'm new to the business. Well, good news. You don't start at 0. You have relationships from before you started your business. Former coworkers, people from maybe your military career, if you served, people from your community. The question is, who in your life before business already believes in you? Start there and then move them through the 3 circles. So imagine, I remember when I first got into commercial printing, I literally went to my mom's office, talked to Irene, who was the office manager, who I'd known since I was a kid, and talked to her about getting her printing, right? So we can go through our people we know throughout our career and past life to get into real conversations. Next question: can someone be a champion in one area and not another? The answer: absolutely. Someone can champion you personally, love you, trust you, and not champion you in your business, likely because they don't fully know how or fully understand what you do or who you serve. That's not a relationship problem. That's a clarity problem. And we'll get into that, in a later episode. So one thing before I let you go today: pull out your phone, go to your contacts, find 3 people you would call a real connection, people who you trust, know what you do, know who you serve, write their names down. That's it. Don't email them. Don't schedule coffee yet. Just identify 3 people who could become champions if you were more intentional with the relationship. That's it. The list is where everything starts. So next week, what I'm going to be covering is we're going to be going deeper into the C3 model specifically. We're going to dive into the difference between a connection and a champion. and why most people never make that move. If you want to go deeper on what we covered, come hang out with us at successchampionnetworking.com, and we'll see you guys next week. Love you, mean it. See you. Bye.